All right, we're catching up with Matt Stefan here on day one of practice at Lake Washita for the 2015 Forest Wood Cup. First thing, Matt, how's the weather compare here in Arkansas to back home in Wisconsin?
It's definitely warmer right now, but I tell you what, today was nothing compared to what pre-practice was like. I mean, we had a nice breeze, and this morning was pretty much overcast for a while, so it was good.
Mild for this part of Arkansas this time of year. Now, on that subject, quite a bit of change in the lake and the conditions since pre-practice, right? The water has come down quite a bit?
Yep. Yeah, the water is about 5 feet lower than about a month ago. Water temps today, 85. It warmed up to closer to 90 by the end of the day, but I mean, that's 10 degrees cooler than what it was a month ago. And yeah, it's a lot different than what it was like when we were here.
Okay. Now, we chatted a little bit ago and you said that you had found some fish in pre-practice, having a little trouble today, either getting them going or maybe relocating them. Tell me a little bit more about that.
Yeah, I bounced around, did a bunch of new stuff, checked some stuff that was working pretty good in pre-practice, and I had a bunch of bites today, but those bites were all doing new stuff. And when I went and checked the old stuff, I don't know if the water, the water depth change is a factor or not, but I just never got bit doing it. And I kind of feel like that's how the tournament's going to be. You got to bounce around and hit new stuff during the tournament, and hopefully you can mix in some areas you got some bites in practice.
Well, from pre-practice to now, I mean, I know you've only been out there one day for the official practice, but do you feel like you've seen a lot of the lake? Do you feel like you have a good grasp on everything that's out there?
I've seen a lot of the lake, but I tell you, it's one of those lakes when you start fishing it, it just blows up. It's huge. I mean, you go into a cove, you hit 5, 6 coves, and you're like, I just covered a lot of water, and you look at your maps, and it's like, I mean, I covered nothing.
Yeah, it's endless little fingers and pockets.
It's really a big lake when you start fishing. When you're driving around, it's not big. I mean, I feel like you can, if you're on this half of the lake, every once in a while you look off to the south and you see the marina we're launching at, and you're like, oh, I'm not that far away. And,
right.
But it's a huge body of water. It really, I mean, I bet you I saw 6, 7 tournament boats today.
Really?
I mean, that's how big it is. It just eats them up.
Now, we know that this lake has a variety of cover. There's obviously brush piles. There's standing timber. There's, I think, some hydrilla, maybe a little deeper water. I think there's some shoreline grass, if that's still in water. Do you have a feel for how those different types of cover are in play? Are they all in play, or is it maybe you're leaning toward one or the other?
Well, they're all in play. There's definitely fish scattered throughout the water column. I mean, you can get bit 40 foot of water over 100 foot if there's trees around, and I mean, I'm sure you could probably go shallow and get bit. I will say that a lot of the shallow stuff I checked today, it just seems like the number of bluegill that are up now versus what were up a month ago, it's drastically fewer.
Okay.
But I know that's still going to play. I mean, guys get bit doing that all year here.
Sure. So some power fishing still in play, maybe some finesse stuff as well out deep? Or can a guy fish his whole term without picking up a spinning rod?
No, I mean, I think you can power fish for sure if you want to, but I mean, at least on my boat, I mean, you saw earlier, I probably had 15 rods out today, from multiple finesse rods all the way up to heavy-duty Duncan, 60-pound braid, and I got bit on probably 6 or 7 different baits. So it's going to be a junk fishing tournament. I'm sure there's going to be guys that are going to focus in on specific patterns, but as of right now, from what I've seen today and in my pre-practice, I'm going to be junk fishing. I'll be all over the place.
All righty. Well, it sounds like the patterns are going to be all over the place. A little everything deep, shallow in between. You heard it from Matt. He and I are going to lobby for a Northern Smallmouth Championship
for
here
sure
sometime in the next few years. But until that time, you can see him at flwfishing.com competing this week in the Forest Wood Cup on Lake Washita.